All right, my friends, how are you today? Aaron here bringing you your daily horoscope for April the 2nd, 2020. Another beautiful day, right? It's springtime, forward momentum, a lot of things happening, a lot of shifts. A lot of shifts are going to start tomorrow. So today is our last day. We've got the moon for the top of the morning in the sign of Cancer. Okay. It's opposing this Jupiter-Pluto conjunction happening in Capricorn, and then it's going to move around 3 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time over there to Leo. Okay, going to give us a little fire, a little sense of spark of joy, playfulness, which is really exciting. And that's going to immediately start opposing Saturn and opposing Mars. Okay. As well, we have Venus in her last full day here in her home sign of Taurus. Okay, my kingdom, falling in love with my kingdom. And a lot of us are kind of stuck in our kingdom, stuck in our home. So we have the moon, emotional need to pay attention to our home. And as I'm putting this out here on April 1st, as well, all the dailies, all the April monthly horoscopes are now up on the Honest Aim page under monthly horoscopes. As well, look forward to the daily meditation videos, the daily meds started this week as well. Anyway, all right, so we're stuck at home, or we're at home. We need to be paying attention to our home, especially these last days. Venus at the 29th degree of Taurus, adding beauty to our home, right? The moon creating the oppositions here to the authority, the changing authority, more authority. And this is what's going on right now with Jupiter-Pluto conjunction, a transformation of authority, Capricorn, opposing us in our homes. We're talking about, as well, Saturn in Aquarius, okay, still at the 0 degree. Let me show you the chart here. This is, I am, whether I want to be or not, stuck at home because of more authority going on, more outside authority that's bigger than me, government at large, world at large. And then as the moon enters the sign of Leo, opposing Saturn itself, the big dog here, and Saturn being in the place of technology, our government, not only here in the United States, but worldly, globally, governments are implementing new technologies that are going to track us, new phone apps that are making sure that we're avoiding other people that have this COVID virus. It's getting pretty hairy. It's getting kind of weird. It's getting very weird. As well, Mercury moving closer and closer to Neptune. That's all going to happen on the 3rd. It's going to happen on Wednesday the 3rd. Exact conjunction, we're getting lost, our own insights getting lost within the media. We'll talk about it a little bit more tomorrow. The Neptune can be that black hole, that abyss, and we don't know what's the illusion, we don't know what's the delusion, or what's the reality. We've seen different things about this virus. One saying the death count is extremely high, and then we've seen people in hospitals, in these COVID testing centers that show they're empty. And there are some hospitals that are full. There are some, every day I'm being told, oh, we're gonna run out of supplies. It's like, well, you said that 2 days ago, 3 days ago, last week. What's really going on here? What is really going on? And I work in television, is my main job, and it's just like, I don't believe everything I see on TV. Most certainly not. I know I'm there, I'm filming the stories, and then how they're edited, for storytelling, to emphasize and to dramatize. Okay, that's Jupiter's job, to dramatize things. And so what? We have Jupiter conjunct Pluto. Pluto's death, destruction. And we're dramatizing death and destruction right now. And for your own good, stay in your own house, stay in your own lane. Don't go out. And me, I'm going to look out for you, big brother here. And I'm going to make you, we're going to chip people, or, all this stuff that's going on is crazy. It's absolutely crazy times right now, and we're saying thank you for this stuff. This is like, to me, this is like Stockholm syndrome, where all of a sudden the person who was abducted, is looking at their abductee uh, as a friend or as a lover or as a loved one, and it's just like, what is really, really going on here? We all have different views about this situation that's happening. Either way, plot thickens over the next couple of days here as we're being muted in a certain sense, emotionally being muted. We can't do the activities, the things that we want to do, especially with the moon moving into Leo. It's just like, I want to be free. I want to be me. I want to go. I want to explore. I want to have fun. I want to go dance. I want to be jovial. I want to hang out with friends. The ego wants to play. And it's just like, yeah, we'll play at your house. Play, have a dance party in your house by yourself, for yourself. So we're being tried here, and we have to look at our kingdom. We have to look at our home. I have to look at our ego expression and minimize it. We're the genie in the lamp. We're not out big granting wishes. We're in smaller captive places, which is really, really interesting times, right? So today's, again, the last day of Venus in the sign of Taurus, in her home sign, and dealing with finances. Okay, we want security. We want a stable foundation. And how are we going to get that stable foundation during this time? Well, we have to use Mars. We have to use this Mars ability while going through Aquarius, okay, to tap into our visionary self, where we're able to see, again, emotionally, we're on one side, Mars is on the other. What I need is to express my ego. What I need to do is express self. And when I say ego, I mean that in a healthy way, Separating from your ego, again, is like separating from your heart. You just can't do it. This whole ego death thing, it gets taken, even that gets taken really out of context in some of the communities. Either way, so the ego is healthy. Ego wants to play. Ego wants to get out and have fun. Ego is moon, emotional needs, the star of the show. Okay, where over here is the conductor of the show. Every star needs its director. Okay. And Mars is saying, well, we have to think about the community. We have to think large. We have to think outside the box. We have to be rebellious right now. Okay? And that's, again, the opposite of what this authority is kind of saying. It's stay in line, stay indoors, listen to our every word, hang by every single thing that we're saying, watch CNN updates live constantly to make sure that you are doing as you're told. I got to say, though, as I see, I don't watch them that often, but as I do see some of these like meetings, it's like the president and the other people are standing right next to each other. They're rubbing elbows with one another. They're not applying this 6-foot rule to themselves. How are they getting together? Like there's a lot of mystery going on here, a lot of wheels within wheels. And what is real? What is the illusion? Okay, we have another 10 days of Mercury being in Pisces. All right. And hopefully some things clear up over those next 10 days. These next 3 days ahead of us, today, tomorrow, when the Neptune-Mercury conjunction's exact, things are still confusing. Before we're breaking away, getting away from that black hole, it's just like seeing a light within a light. You can't see this light source being blinded by this light source. You understand what I'm saying? Like, the smaller light gets outshined, if you will. You can't see its luminosity because of this other larger light source behind it. Where we have the exact opposite with Neptune. Although Neptune is the dreams and it is our imaginations, it's also the illusion, right? It is also that black hole. And Mercury being our own personal thoughts, our own communication, our own intelligence, right? So it's just like our intelligence, our own ability to think for ourselves is being stifled in a sense and being outshined or absorbed by the light of authority. And we can see that here in these semi-squares that are happening up here to the authority. Okay. So there's conflict. There's a lot of back and forth of how do I do what I want to do? How do I get how do I do it? And part of this is this like ego self, fun, playful self has to surrender, you know, to the government, and we have to let go. We have to let go of certain things, and we have to find joy and bliss within our home, within our kingdom. We have to survive for ourselves right now, you know. And the positivity through this is there still are breakthroughs. There's still opportunities to take the time and do what we need to do for oneself. There is the opportunity to, again, use technology to meet up with friends, using social media, using Zoom or other things like that, using YouTube or Facebook or Instagram. And it's funny because if you've been watching my channel, I generally say avoid these things. If you watched one of my last videos on Saturn entering Aquarius, I really heeded the warning of us being so involved through technology that we're losing sense of humanity. And it's weird because this is a balance. This is a balance. Well, what do we do during this time? We can't have our cake if we don't have the ingredients for cake. And if we can't go to the store, I'm not saying we can't go to the store, but what ingredients do we have in our cupboard, in our fridge, to make what we want to make, to satisfy our hunger? You know what I mean? To satisfy our needs right now. And that's where this day is at. And we have a great shift coming tomorrow, again, with the abyss of Mercury being sucked into the black hole of Neptune, and Venus moving out of her home sign of Taurus into Gemini, where she's very comfortable in Taurus, and then come into Gemini, there's a lot on the plate. There's a lot of questions. It's like the Riddler and Batman, so many questions, So there's a lot going on right now that's like it's up in the airness, okay? And it's our job during this up in the air times to, again, make sure that our hearts are being satisfied with ourselves, okay? Now, it won't be again until tomorrow that the moon is going to trine over to the sun and help that out a little bit. There's always a saving grace. There's always a silver lining in astrology. Where it's raining on one side, we know that flowers are coming on the other. And where the sun's shining and it's so hot, we know that eventually it will be nightfall and cool nights and fires and things like that. So there's always a silver lining. There's always a balance. And right now we just have to do our best to find our own fire, our own internal fire as the day continues, to be happy with ourselves, to be happy with whatever's going on in our lives and where we're going, and to take the time to, again, kind of and look at our kingdom. Time to dust or clean, continue spring cleaning. And if your house is already immaculate from spring cleaning and you've done all of this, then it's saying, like, maybe use creative energies and paint a picture or print a picture and hang it on the wall, beautifying your kingdom and finding happiness and joy in whatever is going on. Okay, there's always a silver lining, always a silver lining. And we'll figure it out one day at a time together, my friends, right? With this new Aquarius energy, it does amplify community, and hand in hand, we'll figure out a way to get over this roaring river together. All right? So, day by day, we'll get through it. As always, I appreciate you. Thank you for hanging out with me. Check out the monthly horoscopes. Again, more tunes in with your rising sign, but your sun and your moon can also resonate as well. And check out the daily meds, the new meditation videos I'm putting out if you enjoy that kind of stuff. Just 10-minute little things to help ease our minds and center ourselves during this time. Always appreciate you. I love you. I wish you enough silver linings through these rainy days and these clouds. All right? We'll see you tomorrow.